KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy is back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Look at this fairly recent acquisition that I have not shared enough with you guys about. As a matter of fact, it seems to have kind of not been spoken about much at all. This is the Migon Miro. Now, I have been singing the praises of Migon, I think, since late 2022 sometime. And they have only gotten better with every year, every design that comes. They seem to be straddling the light premium versus the ultra premium realm. I think their most expensive knife comes in somewhere like around 300, a little over 300. I think, and that is the Armada. Might be like 350, 380, something like that. But this one is nowhere near that. This one came in, I believe, right under 2 or right at 200 with a discount code. Unfortunately, I had to get mine from the Amazon guides. So I think I paid like $215, $217. But we got this gorgeous drop point blade here, M390 steel, hand ground hollow. Actually, we've got a dual grind on here, nice flat at the tip, and that wonderful, wonderful belt satin grind. Plenty of room for disengagement, straight drop action, multiple forms of deployment. Ergos are great. I mean, it's just a great goddamn knife. Now, as good as this knife is, that ain't what we're here to talk about, people. Not at all. Got a riveting episode of my wildly successful series called Budget Alternatives. I think for the most part, this series has been received well, and I think I do a pretty good goddamn job about it. So without further ado, let's get to the dope. Now, before I forget, another announcement. The feedback on these stickers has been great. A lot of y'all have been asking me for them. A lot of y'all have been asking how much they cost. They're free, goddammit. Okay? First bag is free on me. But no, in all seriousness, I've had a couple of y'all reach out, and I have been asking some of you guys as of lately to send me an email. And I'm gonna continue with that because this is my plan. If you want a sticker, just give me an email, put in your name and your address, and also put in your YouTube handle. That way I can keep track on who I've sent stickers to. And I think I'm going to do something else. I've been teasing about giving away some shit. I think what I want to do is in that email, give me, if you got a screenshot of your collection, or if you want to just, give me a little bit about your collection, where you're at. If you're a premium guy, if you're a budget guy, let me know a little something, because I'm going to select a few people to ship some knives out with these stickers. I think that would be fun. I think it would be pretty cool to get some engagement. Email is thebladecartel@gmail.com. It'll be in my description. And so, yeah, let's get these stickers in hands across the USA, goddammit. That's what I got to say about that. Okay, the first premium knife that I'm going to give you an alternative for is going to be this one. As a matter of fact, I just got this for the second time. Got it yesterday. Considered doing an unboxing video, but this knife has been out since 2022. I'm sure you've seen it before, but it did give me the missing link, so to speak, as far as knives that I wanted to give you a budget alternative to. This, of course, is the Kaiser October. This is the titanium version of that. I managed to secure this from Kaiser at a whopping $82. Unfortunately, as of the filming of this video, they are sold out. Originally, though, these are about $170. We've got multiple forms of deployment, which is this nice disappearing flipper tab, as well as a cutout and a little bit of fuller. Love that intricate milling here on these titanium scales. It's on both sides of the knife. Folded over titanium pocket clip. We've even got brass pivot collars. Woo! D10 is dialed the fuck in. We've got a gorgeous modified sheep's foot / modified cleaver blade shape, 20 CV steel. Love their belt satin finish. Of course, we've got that Kaiser logo there on the show side, and we've got the maker's mark and the model name there on the clip side. Such a great goddamn knife. I think a lot of people don't realize just how good it is, or maybe they've forgotten. So that is the Kaiser October. So if $170 is too rich for your blood and you manage to miss out on the recent sale, you could always go this route and save yourself a couple of bucks. This is the Vased Hedgehog. Now this one also has that disappearing flipper tab. This has a nice set of tits as well as some fuller. But the real star of the show is going to be that locking mechanism, which is the top liner lock. Great detent, same great ergos. You do have a nice generous choil to choke up on. For the blade steel though, we've got S35 VN. Nice high flat grind. Straight drop action, of course, on your locking mechanism. Just such a close. As a matter of fact, if you see it side by side, you can see where I think they may have gotten their some of their inspiration. Not saying anything, but I do believe that some of the individuals who worked at Kaiser now work or own Vased. You know, don't quote me on that, but I think that's true. But yep, this is the first budget alternative I'm giving you, which is the Vased Hedgehog for the Kaiser October. Okay, next up, we've got this icon, which is the Spyderco Smock. Now, this is a Kevin Smock design, or rather collaboration, and this is the only locking, or rather the only knife in Spyderco's catalog to utilize a button-actuated compression lock. And, you know, now that you see Kaiser, rather, now that you see Vased doing it on several models and you see the reaction and the interest in it, it really blows my mind as to why Spyderco went all these years without putting this locking mechanism on more knives. I think they really missed the ball on that. They could have done it on a million other models, you know. I'll never get them. Spyderco's a hard company to understand. But nonetheless, we got S30V blade steel. Nice sheep's foot blade. Got a shallow hollow grind. It looks really good with the contrast and finishes. That belt satin up there against that machine satin. Could have definitely done without these scales. These are like a Peel Ply G10, Peel Ply carbon fiber scales. But the action is amazing. I removed the secondary detent ball on this one. As a matter of fact, one of you viewers out there had emailed me about getting that second detent ball from me. I had lost it, but I found it. I do not remember who you were. Reach back out to me if you see this, and we can get that deal done for you. But yeah, compression lock being actuated by the push of a button. You've got your traditional flipper as well as cutout for deployment. I did go ahead and throw on this deep carry titanium Lynch Northwest pocket clip. These come in at about 200 bucks. It seems to be the price that you can get these for. And I've got a wonderful knife that's going to come in and save you some money and give you very similar operation. Of course, I'm talking about none other than the hottest $70 knife in the game right now, and that's going to be Vased again with the top liner lock version of the Raccoon. That's the key. It's got to be the top liner lock version. As you've been told, the top liner lock version is essentially the same locking mechanism that you find on the Smock. And I tell you, I have been so goddamn impressed with this Raccoon. But here you go. These come in about $70, like I mentioned. 14C 28N, classic drop point blade, full flat grind, satin finish. We've actually got some really decent micarta here on this version. Folded over stainless steel pocket clip, flow through construction, just like the Smock. Here you see it side by side in the open position. So essentially, well, the Smock's a little bit bigger than that. Let's check the side profile out. All right, about the same thickness, same neutral ergos on both of these. You know, just nothing that blows you away, but we do have a nice spot for you to choke up on both knives. So that is your secondary budget alternative, and that one was for the Smock. Okay, we're going up in price ever so slowly. This next one is one that you better be familiar with, because it has been a big, intricate part of my journey. And of course, this is the McNees Mac 2 3.5 rendition in the newly released Tonto apparatus. Now, you know, originally the knife that I had for this video was the drop point version of this knife model. However, she just found a new home. So in the place of the drop point version, I've got this Tonto, essentially the same knife with the exception of the blade shape, of course. But these come in at about $565, so they are not cheap and they're hard to get, you know. Now, of this list, this is the only knife that's got the hardest, quote-unquote, budget alternative to acquire. But it can be done, and I felt like putting it in the video. So let's see what the alternative is for this one. We're going to go with the KnifeJoy exclusive Spyderco Slysz buoy. Now, these unfortunately are not cheap either. These come in at $450, $449 to be exact. But it is an iconic knife, and it gives me such a similar experience to the Mac 2. You know, essentially with the cutting geometry and just overall feel on the handle. And, you know, we've got both of them are frame locks. M390 steel on this version versus the Magna Cut. We've got a full flat grind with a crown spine here on the Slysz buoy. Plenty of room for your disengagement, riding on washers, glassy smooth. Granted, we do have some convex and contoured titanium handles here on the Slysz buoy. We do have some nicely contoured scales here on the Mac 2. You got to trust me if you've never felt either of these in your hand. These are very, very similar. And that is the budget, quote-unquote budget alternative I have here for the Mac 2. Let's go ahead and do a side-by-side profile. So there you can see I ain't tripping. Let's see them in the closed position side-by-side as well. So yeah, that is your third budget option. And that one was for the Mac 2. Okay, these last two are quite possibly my favorite, as I think I managed to nail them down really goddamn good. This one is going to be a budget option for this beauty right here, which is the USA-made SPK Lamia. Now, my last budget option alternative video, I also gave you a budget alternative to this same exact knife. Now, granted, that one was the Gen 3, which I got in December. This is Gen 2, but they are pretty much identical as far as specs goes between both generations. The only difference, of course, is being since Gen 3, they have been on bearings. And, of course, different blade steel. This is in crew wear. These come in anywhere between $750 to $850, depending on where you manage to get it, whether that's table or secondary. But it is a titanium frame lock, plenty of room for your disengagement. Single form of deployment, which is this pill-shaped cutout. Such a great work knife. Nice thin blade stock, full flat grind. It is just... its reputation precedes itself. That's all I can tell you, people. But like I said, they are not cheap and they are hard to get. So because of that, I decided to give you guys this one, which is the premium version to the Migon Mayoro. Now, in my last video, I gave you the option of the budget version of the Mayoro, and that was simply because the premium version had not existed yet. But she's here, goddammit. We've got that teardrop shape cut out for your deployment. Slightly contoured titanium scales, deep angular milling. We've got a anodized pivot collar here on the clip side of the knife. This one actually has this silver carbon fiber inlay on the show side as well as on the clip side. Milled titanium pocket clip. Snappy detent. We've even got a spot similar to the Lamia. This one's even a little bit more of a spot to choke up. You've got that same fantastic multi-utilitarian drop point blade, full flat grind. I think we've got more of a high flat grind on the Lamia, but we've got a full flat here on the Mayoro. M390 steel. We've got a rubbed satin finish, and I believe these are also hand ground. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's the truth. We do also have a half to quarter length titanium backspacer as well. Chinese made, of course. But the price on this, you can't beat. These are about $200, and that is, of course, before any discount code. If you use KnifeDope at White Mountain or at DNK, it will save you 10%. So here you see them side by side in the open position. How about let's compare blade stock as well as side by side profile. Here goes your profile, so essentially the same thickness. And of course, there comes the blade stock. Very, 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 very similar. great budget option for the Lamia is going to be this Migon Moara. Okay, this last one is a good one, I feel like. First up, the knife I'm going to give you an alternative for is this one, which is the CKF Gnome. This is also a fairly recent acquisition. I've only had it a couple of months, but this is by far the best CKF, maybe second best, first or second best CKF I've ever had in my hands, let alone in my collection. These come in at about $5.50, and we've got a single form of deployment, which is a nice low profile front flipper. We've got convex and contoured titanium scales. Love this milling pattern that we've got on both sides. That is actually to help aid in the weight reduction. Copper pivot collar on both sides of the knife as well. We've got this gorgeous goddamn zirconia pocket clip, zirconium quarter length backspacer with integrated lanyard posts for those weirdos. Woo! D10 is dialed the fuck in. Nice clip point apparatus. M390 is the steel, two-tone finish on that blade. Nice flat grind. Love that full-length swedge there also on the spine. Frame lock is your locking mechanism. You got ample room for your disengagement. Such a great knife. I love it. Chinese made, Russian assembled, and here in my USA house of dope. So let's go ahead and put the budget alternative for this one. This is one that I've never heard about until a buddy of mine sent it to me. This is called the North Mountain Chop. Same single form of deployment, same profile in the closed position. This has got this antique bronzed finish on these titanium scales. We've got a grenade style patterning for your milling. Paddle-like pocket clip, which is a blackened titanium milled clip. Decent amount of tension on that clip. We've got a quarter length backspacer as well. Fantastic D10 on this one. Look at that Japanese style Tanto blade. It just looks stunning. Nice black wash finish. These come in at $180, people. M390 titanium. Now the biggest problem I'm having with this North Mountain Chop is the secrecy. I have not been able to find much out about the company in general or where they're produced, but I can figure it out. If you're going to give me titanium with M390 frame lock for 180 bucks, it's got to be coming from China. You know, I feel like they do almost like a little bit of a misdirection, because if you look this knife up, you'll see the word Japanese kind of put in there. Japanese style Tanto, Japanese this, Japanese that, but no signs of Japan. This has got to be China. We've got a dual grind on this one. We've got a nice hollow here in your main portion, reinforced flat at the tip. Actually, this one even has a little bit more room here for your disengagement, so that's always a plus as well. Action is just as smooth. $180, such a great option if you're digging that CKF Gnome, and that one was the North Mountain Chop. Well, there we have it, people. More budget options to keep you in the game. You know, this knife hustle is not easy, people. It just seems like knives are getting more and more expensive as I speak, and more models are dropping daily. So because of that, I've got to give my people options. And I think I chose some good ones today. I think I managed to kind of help you save some money, while at the same time managing to give you that experience of the premium knives. So there we have it, people. Options. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Do you have some alternatives? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.